The atmosphere inside the Federal High Court in Abuja today, Thursday, November 20th, 2025, was not just tense, it was explosive. We have witnessed one of the most dramatic scenes in the entire 10-year history of Nnamdi Kanu's trial. The headline you saw is real, and the details are even more intense than what you might have read. We are talking about a situation where the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi KANU, effectively scattered the court proceedings, leading to a direct shouting match with the presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho, and ending with the judge ordering his forceful removal from the courtroom. This is the breaking news that has taken over the entire country this afternoon. Let's break down exactly what happened minute by minute. The court had gathered for what was supposed to be the final judgment on the terrorism charges. Justice Omotosho had fixed this date, November 20th, back on November 7th, after foreclosing Kanu's defense. The cameras were rolling. Live broadcasts were set up by major stations like Channels and NTA, expecting a standard legal ruling. But Nnamdi KANU had other plans. As soon as the proceedings commenced, KANU raised his hand. He didn't wait for his lawyers. He spoke directly from the dock. He told the judge that the court had no jurisdiction to proceed because he had filed a fresh appeal at the Court of Appeal challenging the validity of the charges. He was waving papers, insisting that he could not be tried under the Terrorism Prevention Act of 2013 because it had been repealed and replaced by the 2022 Act. He shouted, "Which law states that you can charge me on an unwritten law? Show me, Omotosho, where is the law?" The judge, Justice Omotosho, tried to maintain decorum. He dismissed the fresh motions KANU had filed, describing them as unmeritorious and a tactic to delay justice. He signaled that he was ready to read the judgment. That is when the situation spiraled out of control. KANU refused to sit down. He shouted at the top of his voice, declaring, "Any judgment declared in this court is complete rubbish." He accused the judge of bias, saying the judge did not understand the law. It became a physical standoff. The security operatives, the DSS, moved closer to the dock to restrain him. This is where the "don't touch me" drama unfolded. KANU was visibly agitated, practically daring the operatives to manhandle him in front of the live cameras. He was yelling that he would not allow a kangaroo judgment to be passed over his head while he stood there silent. The prosecution counsel, Adegboyega Awomolo San, stood up and urged the court to take decisive action. He argued that a defendant cannot hold the court to ransom. He cited the law that says if a defendant is unruly, the trial can continue in his absence. Justice Omotosho agreed. In a ruling that will be debated for years, the judge declared that the courtroom is a temple of justice and not a marketplace. He said, if a defendant misconducts himself, his trial can be conducted in his absence. He then gave the order, "Take him out." And just like that, Nnamdi KANU was bundled out of the courtroom by the security operatives. The doors were shut and the judge proceeded to deliver the judgment in his absence. This is unprecedented in a high-profile treason trial of this magnitude. Now let's talk about the related talk, because this affects every single person in the Southeast and every observer of Nigerian democracy. What we saw today was a total breakdown of trust between the accused and the judiciary. KANU's argument, whether you agree with his methods or not, raises a serious legal question. Can you try a man on a law that has been repealed? His legal team says no. The Supreme Court says the trial should continue. This clash of interpretations has now turned into a physical clash in the courtroom. The bigger question for you watching is this: does forcefully removing Nnamdi KANU from the court and delivering a judgment in his absence solve the problem? We know that the sit-at-home enforcers in the Southeast don't care about court rulings. They care about what their leader says. If KANU is silenced in court, will his followers on the streets become louder and more dangerous? We are already hearing whispers of fresh sit-at-home orders being threatened starting tomorrow, Friday, to protest what IPOB supporters are calling the humiliation of their leader. The Nigerian Army 82 Division has already issued a statement urging citizens to ignore these threats. But we know the reality on the ground is different from the press releases. Fear is a powerful weapon. This final judgment was supposed to bring closure. Instead, it has opened a new, more volatile chapter. By ejecting him, the court asserted its authority, but it may have also handed KANU a massive propaganda victory. He can now tell his followers, they couldn't face my arguments, so they threw me out. If you are enjoying this breakdown and want to stay updated on the fallout from this explosive court session, please take a second to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We will be tracking the reaction from the Southeast and the international community in the coming days. So, where do we go from here? The judgment delivered in his absence is valid in law, but is it valid in the eyes of the people it is meant to pacify? Justice Omotosho has proven he is a no-nonsense judge, but in a political trial like this, sometimes strict law clashes with the need for peace. The defense team has already indicated they will appeal everything that happened today, meaning we are looking at another long cycle of litigation at the Supreme Court. Thank you for tuning in to this special report. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and keep your eyes on the news.